You are stomping around up there all for the last 2 hours.
I am not stomping around.
I am telling you, it is
literally
ridiculous.
just got out of the shower. I am not stomping around, and I don't know why this keeps happening. I was watching my Netflix show after I got dressed, and I heard you banging, and I was like...
Because it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop.
I don't know what you're hearing.
I'm hearing you walking around, putting stuff around, like you're dropping it. It sounds ridiculous.
If you want to come up and look at my apartment...
I don't want to look at your apartment. I just want you to stop moving around up there. It's so loud, I can't sleep. Shut up! Face! I am so...
That escalated quite quickly. That is a particular woman. She went down to her downstairs neighbor to confront him or address the problem that he has with her apparently making noise by walking around on her floors. He had been banging up on his ceiling. We've seen those types of things before. Banging the roof so that you can tell the person above you, hey, stop stomping, I'm trying to sleep. As then it escalated to him screaming and saying, get your face out of here, I don't wanna effing see it. All that went down. So he lost his mind. And that woman whose name is Hannah, she posted that whole altercation. Of course, everyone else wanted to know what happened next. This guy sounds a little dangerous. She did post a follow-up. Here it is.
So I've been living in this apartment for almost a year now, and this guy beneath me just moved in, And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I've never gotten a complaint from previous residents before. I started getting noise complaints. And it doesn't matter the size I am, but I'm a pretty small person and I know that I do not walk that loud. I also am overly cautious of how loud I am in here. Even before him, I don't know if you could tell in the video that I initially posted, but it's very clear that I am trying to keep it down as I confront him for the neighbors around him. But I told the management office on him and they're moving him either upstairs or to a different unit. Yeah, but after that last part of him screaming at me, I just walked away in silence and was like, damn.
So as you guys saw there, she told them the apartment about this whole situation, and they're accommodating both of them. I assume they're gonna move him to another unit where he can harass his upstairs neighbor, unless they put him on the top floor to harass his upstairs neighbors about them walking around. I will get to some of the things that people said because I wonder if we have those similar thoughts. But everyone who has ever lived in an apartment, which I assume anyone who's not lived in just a house out in the middle of nowhere, has experienced that you hear your neighbor sometimes. And number two, it can vary from actually crazy stomping and making all this noise and screaming to just normal walking. It just matters of what type of person you are and how sensitive you could be. And as she pointed out, no one else that's lived there has had any kind of complaints about her walking around. What are you thinking, man?
Well, my initial thoughts was that this was a very pathetic display of masculinity, and by masculinity I mean non-masculinity. This was not strong, and this is just completely out of place for how a man should behave with anyone, but especially with a woman. You grow up and you understand, women are smaller, they're more sensitive, and your place as a man is a place of protection, not like you're just going around trying to protect every woman you see, but men are, one of the biggest duties a man has is to just be good to women. I mean, let's be serious. So for you to be screaming and doing all that, you're really stepping outside of your role as a man. That's what I think of when I see stuff like that, because I hold men to account for being what I think is a real man, which in my opinion is strong, courageous, and someone who is just a certain way with women, and that was not it.
Well, if nothing else, to be a human being and not understand how you could be screaming at someone who then is your neighbor. Because my first thought, as some of these folks said, was that guy sounds dangerous. Hey, I wouldn't invite him up to my apartment to see anything. In fact, I would be upset that he even knows that I live there. Things like that are the problem, because this guy seems like he could take it from one stage to the next. You saw how fast within a minute he went from, I just want you to stop being quiet, I'm trying to sleep. Maybe he's on the edge, maybe he's got some kind of a weird schedule where he needs to sleep during the day, or whatever the situation is. It's just a problem. He needs to calm down because now he's on blast and he's gonna harass the next neighbor.